Welcome, everyone. My name is Shari Humes, and I'm the service assistant today. And I'd like to say hello to each and every one of you. It's good to see you. Our music ministry welcomes our special guests today, Helen and Stefan, and we want to thank you for being with us today. It's our contemplative service today, so it's going to be soft and quiet and relaxing. The message today is being provided by our dear Reverend Frank, and he'll come up and say a word.
Hi. So today we finished this month where we talk about the 12 powers in unity, and the power of this month has been, or the human attribute that we talk about, is the power of power. And we've been leaning into this notion. It's sort of the chakra that's at your throat level, and how we show up in the world fully on purpose and fully empowered. So we getting close to wrapping up the month for that here on our fourth Sunday.
And now we'll be with Marcia and Kathy, and we'll do a few songs.
We'll be beginning the official part of our contemplative service with two songs, Holy, 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 followed by I Surrender to the Will of God. There it is. I know if I kept talking loud enough. You can stand, or if you want to begin your contemplative processes, you're welcome to sit as well. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Repeat that. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. We are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. Back to Spirit Divine. Spirit Divine, come to me, feeling love,
There is one living power, one presence that moves all creation, sustains everyone in our community, in the world, in wisdom and love. This presence abides in us and as us, and as every person. It is the strength of our community and the light that always guides us. We affirm this for ourselves and for the world. This love force is with us. It goes before us, preparing the way. It walks beside us and rises within us, gives us courage, clarity, and peace. May this presence be felt in every heart, across every boundary, bringing healing where there is pain, unity where there is division, and wisdom where there is uncertainty. We rest in this loving presence and allow it to move through us as peace and joy in action. And join me in repeating our opening invocation, and it is in your program. There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. As we prepare for our time of reflection and meditation, please hold the words of this meditation hymn quietly in your heart.
May all be well in the deep stillness of the holy will, where strength and salt in wisdom dwell. The time may be delayed, the manner unexpected, but the answer to prayer is sure to come. Ooh, yeah. Not a tear of sacred sorrow, not a breath of holy desire, poured out in prayer to God, will ever be lost. May all be well in the deep stillness of the holy will, where strength and salt in wisdom dwell. Yo.
As we pray together, as we are more than two that are gathered together in the flow, in this room and all those listening, we are not separate from the power of life, light, and light that is Spirit divine. We ask for others that we know for light and love to heal their body or emotions, and to know they are holy, 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 and whole. And now we may ask for healing for our bodies or emotions, for ourselves, and know that we are holy, 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 and whole as well. And so it is. We know this, that all is well. We expand and affirm that all is well here, all is well around our world. Yes, we are held in love and light, and all is well. Thank you is the most simple prayer that we can say. So let us together say thank you 3 times aloud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The next few minutes are for you to relax, unwind, and renew. Begin to breathe slow and deep, as this allows your body to relax. Now focus just on the in and out of your breath. Begin to feel the unwinding within as you breathe in and out. And as your body is now stilled just a little bit and you focus on your breath, begin to focus on your heart. Feel the expanded area of your heart. As you breathe, imagine your heart is beginning to light up. A beautiful glow. Think of the light of a candle. That's the glow. In the quiet, you can ask any question and your heart will answer simply and clearly. You can follow one of your thoughts and ask your heart. Your heart knows your own true path. So in the next few minutes, just breathe, ask, and listen.
there's I want to start with this person that give you an example of what I'm talking about. His name was Claude Monet. He's a French impressionist painter. So Monet, it's interesting. And one thing I love about the story of Monet is the person I'm telling you about, this story takes place when he's in his late 60s. So just in case, if you're in your 60s or 70s or 80s, you think, well, I've already expressed the story of my life. I'm wrapping it up. This guy said, no, I'm just getting going. I mean, this is when he hit his stride as a painter. But one of the challenges was he created all these paintings, and his idea was never to, as far as I can tell, I can't tell you what's going on in his head, but it seems like, as far as we can tell, he wasn't that interested necessarily in becoming uber rich or famous or the most well-known painter that ever lived. He just wanted to paint. He wanted to be in this. He was expressing something that was so exciting for him, and he was in the art world, and he was doing this thing called impressionism, which not my specialty, but he was trying to make impressions of things and make them real and come alive. So he finally sold a lot of paintings, and what was beautiful is he took the money, he bought this old sort of dilapidated farmhouse, and he built a pond. Apparently it looked shaped like a peanut, and he got some water and he ran it in, and he made a little running water pond, and he went around the world, and he ordered from around the world anyhow all these water lilies from all over the place, and he created this gorgeous, beautiful water lily garden. And he said, I'm going to paint that. And he painted it hundreds and hundreds of times. And he would go sit in the morning to go, okay, here's what it looks like at early dawn. And he'd paint for a while, and then the sun would come and goes, well, I'm done with that. Because I want to be real. I want to know reality, and I want to express my reality, i.e., what am I seeing? What am I feeling? What is it that's about me? I really want to get to the essence of it and express that. But the challenge was, for him, at this point of his life, he started getting cataracts. And in the mid-1900s, the cataract surgery, which apparently now is pretty standard, and we can do it fairly well, but at that time, it was really scary. And they said, do you need a cataract surgery? He's like, not me. But I want to be real, and I want to paint what I'm seeing. But he was seeing it different. He was seeing it differently. And so as the years went on, you could see in these hundreds of pictures that they call water lilies, his what he's most famous for, that the paintings changed because how he saw it was changing. And because he couldn't see with the same clarity, he apparently up to his mid-60s had 20/20 vision. Wow. I wear contacts. I couldn't see when I was in 5th grade, That's amazing. And it started fading, and he had 20/50, then 2100. And as he couldn't see, he got bigger brushes because it was blurry for him. So he started drawing with bigger strokes, and the colors were getting off. So his color choices were different. He couldn't see the paints. He couldn't tell his paints. So he'd read what they were. That's purple, that's blue, and he'd put them in order. And so he could, from memory, sort of guess. But it changed what he was seeing. And finally he did, by the way, in his late 70s, he had the cataract surgery. And it could see, but it did something to his eyes where he can now see UV light in a way that most humans can't. So it changed it again. And at first, apparently, he went back with a penknife. He wanted to cross out and rip up some of his paintings he did while he had the cataracts. And people said, no, they're amazing. They think, well, but that's that. He goes, no, they touch us. They touch us. He was true to his art. He was true to his reality. He was true to keep putting forth in the best way he could what he saw and to express that. And they actually say he was the start of a new movement. When he first was trying to make exact impressions, he started painting things wild and the colors weren't exactly right and trees were red and the water was purple and all, and he was part of the precursor to a new expression of art called Expressionism. Because he was true to what was his to do, even in what you might think is his medical condition, his disability. He actually used and stayed true to this expression that was his to do and was a precursor to a whole new movement of art, accidentally. And those paintings still are considered some, in the art world, these masterpieces of artwork, all because he stayed true to what was real for him. I don't know, and I've thought, what is his foundational story? What is his story? And you might think that's a little bit like, well, what's my purpose? But I think there's something more distinct that I'm trying to get at here. That he had a sense of this is how I am wired. This is how something happened to me. Something happened along the way to Monet, like it happens to all of us. This is just a one-person story. It's a metaphor for all of us. There's something that is alive in us. Now, that just wants to express, despite the drawbacks, despite the things that get in the way, despite the obstacles, wants to express. It's this piece of us that's just there. I've wondered for him, of course, I wonder for myself, and I ask this question, when people are expressing this way, there's another piece, and I asked about Monet, and I did the research. I said, was he about self-promotion and getting rich, and was it all about him, or was it about something greater? What I have here, and I realized there's this thing, and it's called a virtue sieve. This may look like a normal kitchen sieve to you, but today this is a virtue sieve. Because we can say, here's this piece of my life, and I want to pour this my life vision, my foundational story. And then there is the possibility, I suppose, that we could say, well, why? So I can make it all about me and mine and my win-lose, because I want to be a winner. And we've talked enough about this over and over, that the story of I win, you lose, I win, that story does not lead, that level of consciousness really does not get us anywhere, except more of the same. And when we can move beyond that, this is a win-lose sieve. If it's in win-lose consciousness, it's stuck. And let's see this pure, our story filtered that says, no, it's not about winning or losing or my self-aggrandizement or my success or all about me. But what comes out the bottom is this story, this foundational story is here to help, to guide me and to be of service. And even more, to be of service is to be alive and to recognize that I am part of this greater mosaic of unitive consciousness. This foundational story, if I sieve out the greed and I sieve out the selfishness and I sieve out the self-aggrandizement and I sieve out the, how does it make me and mine and my, and just really get to because spirit wants to move past that. And wants to flow out with a story that says, how does this light up the world? How does this allow my life to be a joy and a gift to the all, like Monet's is? Still go to museums and whole walls covered with wall lilies, like paintings that are the size of a wall. You can look this up later and see the images. Ginormous pain. Like, what a gift, what a story that just says, I'm here to be of service to the world and this beauty and what I see, and here's the gift of my life. Here it is. What a model. What a foundational story. We all have a foundational story. At the end of this of my piece, I'm going to play some music, and I'm going to ask us just to sit with some music and think to ourselves, what is that story for me? What is that story for me? Here's a piece from I know you're already thinking of it. Good. Sometimes when we think, oh, it's some great wild story, it's a major thing. It's like this pounding, story shouted from the rooftops. I think it's more subtle. It's a subtle, foundational rhythm that flows gently through us. The Tao, chapter 23. Nature is sparing with speech. A whirlwind doesn't last all morning, and a rain shower does not last all day. What causes this? Heaven and earth. If heaven and earth can't make something furious endure, then how can you? If heaven and earth can't make something furious endure, then how can you? So concentrate on the Tao, the way, the path, the flow, and then you'll experience the Tao. You concentrate on your power, and you will experience that power. If you concentrate on loss, you're going to experience loss. So concentrate on the Tao, and then you will experience that Tao. Concentrate on the way. Concentrate on the story that is your story to live. Concentrate on the peace that is calling us forward, each of us, and each of us as a community. And that is the way that will find the power. It's the Wu Wei and the Tao. It's the effortless effort. It's the find your way to the middle of the stream where the current is. And then all you have to do is steer gently with the oar. Find that energy source. Just stick with that. What's your foundational story? What is the current of your life? What is that flow that's taking you downstream? It's there. Let's be conscious of it. Let's be sure we put it through the sieve of virtue and make sure we're lining it with the power of spirit. There's a guy, William Stafford. He's a poet. Maybe some of you know him. And he decided one day, I'm going to get up at 5 every single morning and I'm going to write a poem because that's what I'm being called to do, to write a poem. So every single day for years, he got up at 5 o'clock and he wrote one poem. And as he got writing, he wasn't judging. He wasn't just trying to determine, I got to write a great poem. He'd go back and read them. And he said about 1 out of 8 was okay. So I'd send that one out to be published. By the end of his life, he'd published 4,000 poems. But he wrote 20-something thousand. And they said, how did you write so much great poetry? How did you do it? And he said, well, I just decided I'd get up and write poetry. And I didn't worry about whether it was good. He said, I lowered the bar of my expectations. Because it wasn't about, I got to go up and be successful and be great and be the best poet ever. I just need to, there's that of me, this story of me that says, here's what I'm about. My foundational story says, I'm about beauty. I'll lower the bar. I don't have to judge. I'll just be in the way. I'll just follow the current of my life. How many of us, maybe, have a foundational story, something that we know it's alive for us, and we want to express it. And it doesn't matter if we're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or like Monet, 84 years old and still painting. It doesn't matter. There's that wants to be expressed. But do we block it? Do we judge it? Do we make time for it? Ooh, I'm talking to myself here. Right? Always. So what's that foundational story? I saw that I asked, like ideas, and it seems to me that there's a few categories, and I'll just lay these as you ponder this. One category is something happened to me that was really difficult, but I learned that, fill in the blank. Something happened to me that was really difficult, but I learned that. Or another idea, what you're thinking about what your foundational story is. One day, it dawned on me, or I had an aha moment. I just went, oh, there it is in my life. There it is. I was listening to some people talk about foundational stories. I wrote some things down. One person said, I finally figured out that in the end, things are good. And I follow that path. And another person said, I realized, despite difficult times, that there's always hope. And we're going to make it regardless. Another person said, there's always resilience in my life. That's my story. No matter what comes up, I know what I'm about, and I'm resilient, and I can do it. Another person said, no matter what happens, I find joy. One person said, I always land on my feet, no matter what. There was an aha moment. Someone said, I always find that no matter what happens, there's a divine source. There's a God energy that's got my back and that always supports me. So I'm going to play some music, and what I'm going to suggest is it's like a 3.5-minute piece. The whole idea is just listen to this and ask yourself, what is a foundational story of my life that no matter how hard things come, no matter the cataracts when I'm trying to paint, no matter how tired I am at 5 in the morning and say, well, I'm not a good poet, I gotta write. What is it that gives you the juice? What is it that just never seems to fail you? And the beauty is I've done this process all week. This was my thank you, Mark Nepo, for suggesting this course of action for Mark Nepo retreat we were on. Asking us over and over, what's your foundational story? And then bringing it to consciousness to lean into, to support the good work that we do. Nature is sparing with speech. A whirlwind does not last all morning, and a rain shower does not last all day. What causes these? Well, heaven and earth. And if heaven and earth can't make something furious endure, then how can you? So concentrate on the Tao, on the way of your heart, and you will experience that way. And concentrate on the power, and you'll experience your power. And concentrate on loss, you'll experience loss. So concentrate on the way of your heart, and you'll experience the way. If you'd stand with me, we'll close with our prayer for protection. I think most of us know this, and we can put some power into it. Ready? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Because wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone. Go in peace. Have a great day.